Welcome back to 101 Sports. I'm now joined by Preston Willett and Stephen Taranto to discuss what exactly is a sport. Guys, the first potential sport we're going to talk about is cup stacking. What do you think, Preston? Is it a sport?
I don't see how it could be a sport. This is mostly a memorization game because all you're doing is it's a pattern.
No, it's mostly reflex intensive because essentially
it's reflex intensive, but you got to memorize the pattern first. If you can't memorize the pattern, then
you've also got to do it as fast as possible.
Can we also just point out this is cups? This is what you have on the sidelines of sports games. This is not the sport itself. These are on the sidelines for the sports.
The paraphernalia used doesn't matter. It's still very intensive on motion.
So you're saying we could
reflexes.
Stack cheese instead and it'd still be the same sport?
You could probably use anything, but ultimately I compare it most to the Japanese card game Karata, which is really intensive on
now you're saying card games are a sport? Is that what you're trying to point?
Ones that are reliant on your senses and your reflexes and motion.
These are memory games, not athletic performances. This is not sports.
It's still a very big challenge. That's all I'm saying.
I would have to agree that until cup stacking is on ESPN, I'm not sure I would consider it a sport. Now, the next potential sport we're going to discuss is speed walking. What do you think, Stephen?
This exists? Really? I mean, you might as well.
Of course it exists. It's in the Olympics.
Do you want to know how much
this is a sport?
Do you want to know how much I care about most of the sports in the Olympics? Zero. I really don't care about a bunch of Nancy boys trying to pass off something that I do every day as something competitive.
Sport. This is actually in the Olympics, where all sports go.
That's an appeal to authority. Just because something, you know what's not in the Olympics? Football isn't in the Olympics. Baseball isn't in the Olympics.
Okay. But this is running slowed down. This is still getting your workout on. How many girls do you see out there for their workout? They go out there speed walking. I don't, personally, that's not for me. I'd rather run because I feel like that's actually going to do something. But this is still a sport.
I live a quarter mile from campus. Apparently, I should be an Olympic athlete now because I have to make a daily commute.
You'd have to be fast enough first.
I would have to say that I think speed walking is a sport just because I'm not sure I have the athletic ability to walk as fast as the women and men in the Olympics. Okay, so for our final sport, we're going to discuss NASCAR. Do we think that is a sport? Preston?
Steve, come closer. I need to tell you, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, you're just using the same rhetoric that everybody else who tries to...
What rhetoric? No, this is not a sport.
You're not giving me any
Are jockeys athletes? Are horse jockeys athletes? Because they are doing the same thing. They are on something that is doing the work.
Trust me.
I don't consider a horse jockey an athlete.
These cars don't have traction control. You're constantly having the wheel jerked away from you by the abrasive track surface. Most of the people who have your line of thought think, oh, this is going to be so easy, and they get into the iRacing simulators at the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and they're in the wall once they get to turn one.
This is what I want to talk about. Most of NASCAR training is computer simulations.
No, it isn't.
And on the track, But mostly it is computer simulations and on the track. It is not working out every day, getting in peak physical condition. NASCAR, and you can talk all you want about how hot it gets in the car, but I'm not going to care.
Do you think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. passed out after the nationwide race in New Hampshire this summer just for show?
He should have been a little more hydrated, I feel like.
He was working hard, and he had the flu. Trust me. And he finished 5th or 6th in that race.
Just because it's a dangerous competition does not make it a sport at all. At all.
Oh, well,
you are wrong. I am right. Thank you.
You're wrong. I am right.
I think I'm going to have to agree with Steve on this one. I think there's a reason it's on SportsCenter every night. I think NASCAR is a sport. But that's all the time we have for this segment. But make sure to be on the lookout for our next segment where we will create a new sport with only one rule: embrace steroids. You don't want to miss this.